shot me! He shot me! He shot me! You know you hear me? Yeah, bro! Oh God! Oh, he shot me! I didn't do He shot me, man! Oh my God!
You didn't do You didn't do You hear me?
I'm losing my breath.
His hands back.
By now, of course, you've seen the video. This story everybody's talking about. Robert Bates, the Oklahoma Sheriff's deputy. He's charged with manslaughter after he shot a suspect who was pinned to the ground by the officers. Bates said he mistakenly used his gun when he meant to reach for the taser. Now, here's what we've learned since. The department reportedly falsified the 73-year-old insurance executive's records, giving him credit for training and certifications he never received. And reports say 3 supervisors within the police department were transferred after they refused to go along signing these false documents about his training. The department, for their part, is denying the charges. All right, there's so much on this one, guys, but I'm going to give you, to me, 3 of the most outrageous, and tell me what shocks you the most about the story. One, now, the guy, they have video of him, he's making a gun deal. This is not an angel, okay? But it's a gun deal. He's selling guns and drugs, so it's a dangerous thing. The guy, after he was pinned to the ground with multiple cops around here and cuffed, that he was shot. That's one. The second one is that a 73-year-old insurance exec was responding to a dangerous sting operation, that he was there in the first place, or that the volunteer reserve deputy was even allowed to carry a gun to begin with. Of all that, Andrew, what's the one that says to you, that I can't believe?
The sad part is that doesn't even include on the list
that they falsified the records.
And what they were talking about, what they said to him after he was shot.
I'll just give context for the audience. He said, you shot me. And that was after this guy apologized, saying, oh, I shot him, I'm sorry. And the other officers, one of them said, shut the bleep up, you shouldn't have ran.
Yeah, there's so much here to pick from. I got to go with the fact that the 73-year-old guy, by virtue of paying a lot of money to the sheriff's office, gets access to the ride-along, gets to be involved in the arrest. I mean, we talked before about money in politics. You should not be able to pay your way onto a sheriff's department and then all of a sudden be a cop for a day.
And they thought the mistake, Don, was that, oh, he shot him instead of used his taser. Why is he tasing anybody? Why is he there in the first place? Yeah. And by the way, I should report here, Mr. Bates died, okay? He died on the operating room table, okay? So that's the postscript is. What shocked you the most out of that?
What shocked me the most, Richard, is one that you didn't mention, because he severely, meaning this deputy, hurt his legal case this morning. He had his lawyer present, but why they would let him go on the Today Show, and Matt Lauer asked him to stand up and give an illustration of how he carries his weapons. Big mistake. He admitted that the taser is in the chest area and his gun is on the side. So a jury is going to see that tape. How do you mistake taser chest, gun on the side? That's the biggest mistake. He should have never been there. 73 years old. Obviously, he paid his way. He's a cop, whatever you want to call him.
Hey, we've all been involved in ride-alongs with the police.
Right.
You're never allowed out of the car.
Right.
You go near the door handle, they're driving you back here, and you and your station are never allowed. Forget about that, you're armed.
Right.
Oh, my gosh.
Right.
All right. I want to shift gears now to a story involving a media personality. This and ESPN reporter, Britt McHenry. If you haven't seen this video, oh, my God. She's been suspended for a week after going on a tirade against a clerk at a towing yard. Now, again, the context, her car towed. This was in the Virginia area, right outside of D.C. She's a reporter who covers the D.C. market for ESPN. The person she spoke to had nothing to do with towing the vehicle. The person she was talking to was merely asking for her to give her the check and she'd give her the keys to the car. But I'll give you a little bit of a portion of the exchange and look at the closed caption on the bottom because some of it's hard to hear clearly.
Do you feel good about your job? So I could be a college dropout and do the same thing? I have to drive a brain and you don't?
Looks like that.
Maybe if I was missing some teeth, they would hire me higher.
Yeah, maybe if you had to touch your roots up a little bit.
Oh, like yours? Because they look so stunning. Because I'm on television and you're in a trailer, honey. Lose some weight, baby girl.
And here's the kicker. The woman at the beginning of the conversation told her, you're being recorded on camera. There's a camera, security camera, recording this conversation. That was before everything you heard. She got a week suspension, Dominic. Okay? You're ESPN. Is that a sufficient punishment?
Come on, baby girl, talk to us.
Richard,
Don't give me the Richard. What would you do?
Richard, we've all been there.
No, I haven't been there with that.
Because I'll admit, I've been pulled over by the NYPD, and the poor officer walked up to the car, and I'm like, what the did you pull me over for? Give me your license, sir. I'm not giving you anything. And then
you're a fool.
Right. And you know how they finally embarrassed me? They said, Mr. Carter, we watch you every night on television. Why are you being so rude? And then I'm like, oh. So I feel the reporter's pain. She messed up. She's suspended for a week. She's not going to get her salary. Whoever hasn't screwed up, throw the first stone.
Oh, I haven't done that. I have never done that. And the woman's trying to do her job, Andrew. I don't care. You're mad. It's the middle of the night. You're going down. We've all had to go to the tow lot before. It's not a fun experience. I get that. And even if you're hot under the collar, she belittled that person and made them look so insignificant. And she fed every worst stereotype as to, I'm better than you, I'm prettier than you, I'm smarter than you, I'm more important than you, you're the bottom of my shoe.
It's one thing to blow up at somebody, and yes, we all blow a gasket from time to time and have a moment of where we get a little hot under the collar. But that doesn't mean you insult somebody based on their personal characteristics. You were telling the story about the cop, you were just giving him a hard time. You weren't insulting him by saying,
we don't know what this lady said to the reporter prior to that.
Yeah, she probably said like $200, please. And the part that where I went off on where I got lost in all this is the whole like, that's why you work here and I'm on television. Well, it's a privilege to do what we do for a living, and
you need that person behind the counter to watch you, or else you're not going to have a job.
This job puts us in the spotlight. It doesn't make us better than anybody, and she clearly believes that she is better than people because she's on TV.
Now here's the question that makes me sick. When she comes back on, is she all of a sudden a bigger media personality and a higher Q rating than before she said this stuff and got caught in the first place?
You already know the answer
for
to
a
that.
minute.
I don't know, because there's a difference with doing something stupid and making a scene or whatever else. And there's a different thing if your viewing audience says, does she think I'm a person missing teeth living in a trailer? And does she feed the stereotype that Miss Blonde thinks she's better than me? I don't know if that helps you with ratings. And
listen, I tried to help a sister out. That's all I was doing.
Easy boo. All right. Coming up next, even though the economy is improving, the homeless problem in New York City, it's not, especially for children. Dominic, he spoke directly with the head of the Coalition for the Homeless. She had some unbelievable things to say about where we are. We'll have that after this.